Hello everyone and welcome to the new episode of Stories Rejection. Today's episode is brought to you by Yocket, the study abroad platform, and we'll be talking more about them further in this video. Today as our guest we have got Ritwik and we'll be having a conversation with him, and I'll directly put spotlight on Ritwik. I would request him to introduce. Please Ritwik, go ahead.
So I'm Ritwik Arya. I'm from Delhi. I did my graduation from the University of Delhi. I did BCom honors and I got graduated in the year 2018. Since then, I've been working in a digital marketing company. I have 3 years of work experience, professional work experience. So after 3 years, I wanted to do my master's so that I can get into more senior roles. And since my interest was inclined towards marketing side, so I decided to pursue masters in marketing for my masters. And then I started exploring different master courses in different countries, and I found that most of the masters in marketing programs were offered by the universities in the UK or Ireland and some other European countries. But then I shortlisted a few courses that I really liked. I spoke with many current students of those universities that I shortlisted, and on the basis of the curriculum and practical exposure, the quality of education, the reputation of the university, business school, and based on many other factors, I decided to go ahead with the University of Edinburgh. So last year I applied to the University of Edinburgh for my masters, and then after a month or two of applying, I got my offer letter, and then I accepted that offer. So for this year I'm planning to go to the University of Edinburgh for masters in marketing.
Yeah, great. Thanks for letting us know. Now, when did you started all of this application procedure? So which month of the last year are we talking about here? When did you apply for maybe the university in the first place?
Okay, so my intake starts in September. So the application window starts around the same time last year. Okay, so if my intake is in September, then the application window was open around September, August, between this time. So just before a year from my start date, I applied for this program.
Then secondly, now we had conversation yesterday or day before yesterday when we talked about your journey, where your visa was actually rejected for the UK, and that's what I want to make the audience aware as well over here. So let us know that now, you've talked about that, how did you select a university and the course. Now let us bring this conversation further, that what do you think was the main visa, that why was your visa was rejected at the first place?
Okay, so I'll first explain what was the reason of my visa rejection, and then I'll move to why I think it was rejected. So my visa was rejected due to insufficient funds, but actually that was not the case in reality. I was supposed to show around 34 lakh rupees in my account as my financial proof, and I submitted around 37 lakhs. Even then I got a visa rejection from UKVI. So whenever you get a visa refusal, you get a mail from UKVI. So in the first page they tell you that you have received a visa refusal and you won't be able to come to the UK. And in the second page there is a decision statement which explains what was the reason behind your visa refusal. Okay, so when I received that, so in the month of May, I applied for visa, and usually in 15 days you get your result if you're not applying for any priority service or anything like that. Okay, so I was pretty sure that I have submitted all the documents and I'll get my visa easily, and it was not even in my mind that I can even receive a visa refusal because I didn't do anything. Okay, so after 7 days of submitting my biometrics at VFS Global in Delhi, I received a mail from UKVI, and the email address, the subject of the mail was UKVI New Delhi refusals. So I was thinking that I have received a decision on my application and my visa will arrive in 3-4 days. Okay, but I was pretty shocked when I read the subject of the email, and then I quickly opened the email, and there was this decision. There was this PDF format document. In the first page, they said that we won't give you a visa, and in the second page, there was a long decision statement. So I was not in my senses, and it was very difficult to process this kind of information by all yourself when your parents don't know a lot about these things and you're doing everything on your own, right? Which is the most common case when it comes to going abroad and studying abroad. Most of the times you are doing everything by yourself. So in that statement, I read that they said that you need to show this much amount, which is around 34 lakhs, and you have submitted proofs for only 26-27 lakhs. So I was wondering, how is it even possible, because I submitted proofs for 38 lakh, right? Then I checked the calculation of the funds they did. In my case, I submitted 4 financial proofs from 2 banks. 2 bank letters from HDFC and 2 bank letters from Bank of Maharashtra. Okay, and the calculation they did, it was only based on the funds that I showed in HDFC accounts. Okay, so if you add the sum of HDFC amount, it was around 26 lakh, and when you add the rest of the amount that was in Bank of Maharashtra, it's another 12 lakh. So if you combine both amounts, it's above 35-36 lakh, right? So but they didn't check Bank of Maharashtra, which is very strange, because I'll tell you, when you file your visa application, you need to select which financial proofs you will submit. Okay, you enter the name of the banks that you will be showing as a part of your financial proof. So I selected HDFC Bank, Bank of Maharashtra. It was on my visa document checklist that you have to carry along with you when you're going to VFS Global. Okay, then I submitted all those documents in a very proper order to the VFS Global staff. They tick marked on the document checklist for both HDFC and Bank of Maharashtra. They accepted that those documents, and then even signed my visa document checklist. And even after, even if I am submitting multiple statements, it was clearly mentioned on my visa application, and it was mentioned on my visa document checklist, and I submitted those documents. It was signed and tick marked by the VFS Global staff. Yes. Okay, and then also when I got my refusal letter, I saw that they didn't consider, or they didn't check my Bank of Maharashtra statements.
Got it.
So that was the whole situation.
So before moving ahead in this conversation, I would like to mention the virtual study abroad fair, which is being hosted by Yocket, the study abroad platform. This fair is open to all undergraduate, postgraduate, MBA aspirants, whether they're from the South Asian countries or whether they're from MENA countries. So in this study abroad fair, you can get clarity about your scholarships availability, the financial options. You can have one-to-one with the university representatives, and thirdly, you can get clarity about the study abroad destinations which are available. So this full fair is going to be really helpful for the international students. All the necessary links will be in the description below. For the South Asian countries, this virtual study abroad fair will be hosted on 15th of July, and for the MENA countries, it will be hosted on 16th of July. The timings for the event will be there on your screen as well. So guys, don't miss on this opportunity. You can get the free ticket and register in the link mentioned in the description below. And thanks to the Yocket for kindly hosting the study abroad event, as this is going to be really helpful for the international students. So now here, like, what's your next step? So is there any kind of organization body which will be reviewing the decision? So let us know about that. What should be the next step if someone faces this situation?
Okay, so quickly I'll tell you what can be the reasons of visa rejection. Okay, and then I'll tell you if you have the option to get your application reviewed or not. Okay, in case you are not a genuine student, you spoke many wrong things in your interview, okay, that you will stay in the UK after completing your studies, or you have a criminal record and you are admitting it in your interview, okay, and if you are submitting fake documents, okay, so in that case UK VI might ban you for some time, like 5 years or 10 years. In those kind of situations, they put visa ban on you and entry ban on you, okay, but if you have small issues like insufficient funds or any other small issue, then they give you an option to apply for administrative review. Okay, so administrative review is something like if you think UK VI has made an error at their end and there was no fault at your end, but still you got a visa refusal, then you can apply for administrative review. For administrative review, you need to file it within 28 days of getting your visa refusal, and you need to pay £80 to file administrative review, okay, and when you file administrative review, you need to clearly explain what happened, why do you think it was the fault of UK VI and not you, and what proofs do you have to support your claim. Okay, so you need to write a proper application. Some students take the help of any immigration consultant. I did it myself because in my case the situation was very simple.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I explained it to you. I'm 100% sure you are aware of the situation now, right? So I clearly explained that situation in that administrative review application, and then I submitted that application. So as per the rule, UK VI usually gives the result of administrative review, which is called AR. I'll use the term AR from now on. UK VI gives a decision on AR within 28 days.
Yeah.
Okay, but due to COVID and due to the new immigration rule that was launched in January 2021, okay, because of which many people started applying for the visa in the UK, there have been many visa rejections, because of which there is a huge backlog of administrative review AR applications. Okay, and since AR files are not checked by the staff who are checking the first time application, it's a different department, or it's checked by different person, so they don't have that much resources, and there is a huge backlog of applications, because of which I know students who haven't received a decision on their AR application since 3 months, 4 months. So you can imagine how bad it can be. And it's been only, I think, 41 days since I applied, and I have very low hopes that I'll hear back from the UK VI. But it's really bad. That's why when I made a video on my visa rejection, I clearly mentioned that if I would 100% suggest you to do things as quick as possible, because in case your visa gets rejected, you should have at least 2-3 months of time to apply for AR. If you're getting refusal in the end of July and your intake is in September, then you don't have that much time, even when the UK VI is taking 3-4 months time to process your AR application.
Yeah.
So that's the first step. Either you can apply for administrative review, that's the first thing. If you don't want to apply for administrative review and you don't have that much time, then the next step is to contact your university and request them to issue a new CAS for you. So it goes like, if you have already applied for visa, the CAS number that you use, it's just for one-time use. Okay, if your visa application gets rejected, then you won't be able to use that CAS number again. So you will need to explain your whole situation to the university, tell them what exactly happened, why is it the fault of UK VI, and then submit documents to support your claims. And if they agree, universities might not agree, and I can tell this for sure because I know a few students who were not able to get a new CAS from the university because their university simply refused. Okay, So if you get a new CAS, then you can apply for a new application. For new application, you need to pay visa fee again. You will need your bank statements again because you need fresh documents. IHS gets refunded when you have when your visa application gets rejected. It gets refunded within 2-3 weeks. So that amount comes back to your account, but then you have to pay visa fee again.
Yeah.
And it's not a small amount, it's around 40,000 rupees.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, people like you are really good that you're actually speaking up. Like, otherwise many people really don't speak about this. They aren't aware about, for example, administrative review, which you talked about. People like you are really a good inspiration, motivation for them as well. That's actually, now moving on. Now, I mean, like, as you said, that it was very hard situation on your side. So how did you manage your anxiety during that time? Like, when you got that decision, how did you channelize your energy in the right direction during that time? So that's my basic question.
Okay, so yes, it was very difficult and it was very hard to digest also, because when you're going to a new university 5-6 months prior to your course, you make many friends who are going to the same university. You have WhatsApp groups and everything, and then those students are getting visa very easily and your visa got rejected. That feeling is also very bad. So I was suffering from very high resting heartbeat, so I had to take some medicines. It might depend from case to case, but in my case it was very difficult. But then my main focus was to convince my university that it was not my fault. Okay, it was completely the fault of UKVI, and convince them to issue a new CAS in case I don't get a decision on my AR application on time, or my AR application gets rejected. It could be either way. So most important thing was to convince my university to issue a new CAS, because if they don't, then there are two things: either I'll need to apply for the admission again for some other intake, or I'll need to apply to some other university. And it's very easy to say, apply to another university, but
Your time get lost.
yeah, and you have this whole mindset, and it goes haywire when you think of doing these kind of things. So it was really difficult. So I wrote to my university. I clearly explained. I mean, it was so easy to understand that the mail that I sent to them. Even if I show that application letter to someone walking by and hand them over, just give it a read, they will say, oh, that's very bad. It shouldn't have happened. So it was very easy to understand. So I explained them, and then I got a reply within 2-3 days, and they appreciated that I explained my situation so well, and I hyperlinked all the documents that I wanted to show them to explain that it was not my fault. And then they said, it's the fault of UKVI and it's not your fault. We will get in touch with them. We will see what's the status of your application. Okay. And after a few days of conversation, they even said that it's not recommended to withdraw your AR application right now, because I have some time left. Okay, because it's still July, there is August. Okay, so they said don't withdraw your application, because then you will need to do everything again. It will cost you money, it will cost you time, effort, and everything. But in case if you want to apply for a new new visa, then they will be happy to issue a new CAS to me. But for that, I'll need to submit my financial documents to the university so that they can cross-verify that I have the sufficient funds. Okay, so if I withdraw my app, so I wrote to them again that I'll be supplying those documents to you soon. So now I'm trying to keep funds in just one bank account. and show that complete amount together.
Yeah.
And I'll be sending that document to the university first, so that they can make sure that I have that much amount in my account. And once they check that, and once they see that yes, I have that amount, then they will issue a new CAS. So it was a big sigh of relief when I got to know that university is supporting me and they are willing to, issue a new CAS also, even though they haven't already. But even if they're willing to, if they are saying that they will, it's also a big sigh of relief.
Yeah, man, it is like really so amazing to hear all of these things, because otherwise like some people really get stuck during their situations. But it's good to hear that you're resilient, like some things aren't in your own control, as we had talked like last time as well. Then you channelize, well, let us like take next step, contact the university, get them on their own side. It is so good to hear about all of these things as well. Yeah, so like would you like to share any other stories, or have we covered everything? Like you said me like last time you got some Instagram messages after you made that one particular video, so do you want to share some other stories as well?
Yes, so I'll quickly go through some points that I've made. So recently I started a new YouTube channel, and quickly I started receiving response from a few people. So when I uploaded the video of my visa refusal, many of the students whose visa got rejected, they also replied to me and they shared their situation with me. So a few situations that I want to share with you are, so there was a student who applied for administrative review, okay, and he didn't get a decision on time, and his university refused to issue a new CAS. So basically when he applied for AR, he didn't get a decision on time, okay, and his course started, and he started studying from India itself, and he started paying his fee, and he thought that his AR decision will come on time. But it's been 3-4 months, he didn't hear anything from the UK VI, and I have explained the reason why it's happening. And then his university refused him to issue a new CAS, so he is in a very bad situation. So if you are not getting your AR decision on time, first confirm with your university if your university is willing to issue a new CAS. If they are not issuing a new CAS, then don't start your studies with them, because it's not worth it. So this was the first point. Then the second point is, sometimes when you submit your financial proofs to the UK VI, the immigration department might reach out to your bank to cross verify if you have those documents or not. So I got in touch with a few people who submitted some bank statements. Then UK VI sent a mail or tried reaching out to their branch or bank manager, but UK VI didn't receive any reply from their bank. So because of that, their visa got rejected. So even if it's not your fault, even if you have submitted a single account, but if your bank is not verifying that statements to the UK VI, then your visa might get rejected. So the best way to go about it is that when you submit your visa application, inform your bank that UK VI might contact you within 15 days. If they contact you, please reply to them, because your future depends on it. And if you don't reply to them, you might not be able to go to the UK to study. So that was the second situation. Third one was a student appeared for a visa interview, and he couldn't hear anything because of internet connectivity issue. Okay, and his interview didn't go well. Audio was cracking and it was not very clear. Okay, so due to that, he got a visa refusal. So if you are appearing for a visa interview online, make sure that you have a very stable internet connection. If you don't have Wi-Fi, and even if you have a Wi-Fi, keep your mobile data hotspot on. In case your Wi-Fi is not available, you can quickly switch to your mobile hotspot. Okay, so that's something that you can do. And other than that, never submit fake documents, and prepare for the interview really well, because if you submit fake documents, you might get a ban on your application for 5 to 10 years, and it's very bad for your international travel history, even if you apply to somewhere else like Canada, Australia, or any other country. So I think that's all from my side.
Yeah, great. It's so good to hear Ritwik, and the fact that I really want to acknowledge is that you're seeing the situation in a very positive light. What are the next steps? You're helping other students. Well, these are the situations. Make sure like your Wi-Fi internet connection is all right. These are some things which I really loved about this conversation itself. Moreover, for the students who have got their friends who are trying to come to the UK, I think this is the video which you must share with them, because it has been absolute pleasure hearing your journey yourself, and I wish your AI review decision really comes on time. And some things aren't in your control, but I think all you can do is wait. Otherwise, your plan B as well, which are pretty much hard, as well. I said, for maybe different take, different university, but that all things are pretty much hard as well. I understand that. So I think we have to just leave it on the time for the interim, for the meanwhile. And Ritwik himself has got his own YouTube channel. He's sharing his all the full journey. He's currently in the India, so he'll be sharing his full journey of coming to the UK itself. So do check out his own YouTube channel. Moreover, he sings as well. So he's got another channel which is called Ritwik Arya. Even do check that as well. He's an amazing singer as well. I wish you best of luck for your future, Ritwik, and thanks for having this conversation. Thank you.